As a gamer, I'm sure your love for the hobby didn't just happen overnight. You played a few games here and there, dipped your toes into the world of video games, until there was that one game. I'm sure we've all experienced it. That one game that made it all just click. The game that made you realize just how special video games really are. Maybe that game was made by Todd Howard. Maybe it was Marcus Persson, or even Hideo Kojima. There are so many legendary developers out there. Almost too many to count. But either way, the people behind our favorite games often have just as much influence on our love for gaming as the games themselves. And as someone who's been gaming for decades now, I want to share the story of the developer who made me fall in love with video games. Now, I'm not going to tell you who it is right away, but it should become pretty obvious pretty soon. Growing up, my first experiences with video games came from Nintendo. Not from owning a console myself, but from playing at friends' houses. It was through these multiplayer sessions that I got my first real taste of the magic of gaming. Now, I'll give you one guess as to what game it was on the GameCube that pulled me in. Well, if you guessed Mario Kart Double Dash, congratulations! You'd be wrong. The game that truly hooked me, the one that sunk its fangs into me, was Super Smash Bros. Melee. And later Brawl. It's almost poetic. Smash Bros. Is a love letter to gaming as a whole. Yet, no individual franchise in it resonated with me as much as the crossover itself. All those worlds colliding, characters clashing, abilities flying everywhere, it just clicked! But my time with video games was limited, to only when I visited friends. That changed when I finally got my own console, the Nintendo DS. Naturally, I gravitated towards games featuring characters I recognized from Smash. And out of those games, the first one to have me in a chokehold, the one I poured countless hours into, the one that truly solidified my love for video games, was Kirby Superstar Ultra, the DS remake of Kirby Superstar for the SNES. That game had everything. A collection of adventures wrapped into one, with varied enemies, creative bosses, clever level design, and Kirby's endless abilities. It outshined every game I'd played up to that point, and it made me eager to explore more of the medium. So when I finally got my own copy of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I appreciated it even more. I began to notice how the characters' moves were pulled directly from the original games, especially Kirby's copy abilities. And it gave me a whole new greater appreciation for the dedication to detail and faithfulness to the source material Smash Bros. Had. But for a while after this, I was starting to lose my spark for gaming. I'd still play occasionally, but nothing captured that same deep joy I used to feel. And then came my favorite game of all time, Kid Icarus Uprising. I bought it on a whim with no expectations, and walked away with a masterpiece. Its story, its gameplay, its enemies, the boss fights, the weapons, the setting, everything came together perfectly. It reignited my love for gaming all over again. Honestly, I could make a whole video just talking about the game, but that's not today's focus. Now, if I asked you, what do Kirby Superstar Ultra, Smash Bros, and Kid Icarus Uprising all have in common? What would you say? The answer? Masahiro Sakurai. Okay, technically yes, Kirby Superstar Ultra was developed by Shinya Kumazaki, but since it's a remake of Sakurai's original Kirby Superstar, and most of the ideas came directly from his version, I still give him credit. Fun fact, in Sakurai-directed games, like Kirby and Smash, he voices King Dedede, while Kumazaki voices him in his own titles. Almost like a friendly rivalry, but anyway, back to the point. The one thread connecting all these games is Sakurai himself, the developer who made me fall in love with video games. His games are accessible for everyone, yet incredibly deep for those who want to master them. They're polished, expressive, and let players play their own way. He's always experimenting, always pushing boundaries, always cramming every inch with thoughtful detail, and all of it wrapped into that signature presentation style, brought to life with the help from his wife. Sakurai's playful personality, his obsession with detail, and his ambition shine through everything he touches. And that's why his work opened my eyes to just how powerful and creative video games can be. So now I'll ask you, which developer made you fall in love with video games? Maybe it was Sakurai too. Or maybe it was someone else entirely. Let me know your story in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. This is Task, signing off.